Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
A busy weekend on the campaign trail as the 2020 race heads west to Nevada. What you can expect as the Democratic presidential candidates continue to battle it out.
And the president's scheduled to arrive in the Central Valley this Wednesday. We'll tell you what he plans to do while he is here in Bakersfield.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6 a.m. on this Monday. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
I'm Mike Hart. Glad you're here. Let's start things off with 23 ABC Chief Meteorologist Elena Russ and see what's happening out and about on our roadways.
Out and about on the roadways. So it should be a pretty quiet morning commute because so many people have President's Day off today. Passes are wide open. You're seeing some gray shading out there, kind of acting like fog, but it's really just some low clouds. We'll talk about those clouds in a minute. But first, we wanted to start with some traffic here. We have a rollover crash reported by the CHP about half an hour ago now at Bear Mountain Boulevard. You know, that's the 223 there near Tower Line Road. We do have a lane blocked. They're saying this is on the northbound side of the road. It was a vehicle rollover that has landed on its roof in a field nearby. So they are doing an investigation right now. There are unknown injuries involved and do expect some slowing there just east of Arvin this morning. But as we come back to your Bakersfield commute, here in the heart of town, we're okay. Other than all of that construction, they had 24th and Oak closed for the weekend. It reopened a couple minutes early. They still have crews working in the area, but you're good to go if you're trying to get here downtown this morning. And as for our weather, this is good to go. It's going to be dry, calm and quiet, a little bit of a breeze cooling us down a few degrees. Clouds this morning will clear this afternoon. So from 47 for our morning low here in Bakersfield right now, you see we're going to climb up to those low. These temperatures are way off. All right, well, we're going to climb up to the 60s later today. We'll talk more about that coming up.
We are less than a week away from the battle for Nevada in the 2020 race. Early voting started over the weekend as candidates hit the state ahead of the next debate on Wednesday.
ABC's Andrew Dimber joins us with the latest from Washington.
Over 18,000 Democrats turned out for the first day in the first contest in the West. For the candidates,
please welcome Mayor Pete.
Leading the field with the most delegates so far, former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He's taking aim at conservative talk radio host Rush Limbaugh, who said he won't get elected because he's been kissing his husband on stage after debates.
I'm pretty good at holding my tongue, but it is tempting to point out some differences between my understanding of family values and those of this president and his supporters like Rush Limbaugh.
Former Vice President Joe Biden is counting on a comeback and attacking Bernie Sanders' health care plans.
He's been talking about health care, Medicare for all, universal health care for 35 years. Nothing's happened. I helped get past Obamacare.
Sanders, meanwhile, going after billionaire Michael Bloomberg.
But he thinks he can buy this election. Well, I got news from Mr. Bloomberg, and that is the American people are sick and tired of billionaires buying elections.
Bloomberg is not competing in Nevada, but he was on the minds of many of the candidates.
Like Bloomberg.
Michael Bloomberg.
Mayor Bloomberg.
Who would like to see him in the next debate.
I can't beat him on the airwaves, but I can beat him on the debate stage.
President Trump plans to hold a rally the day before the caucus in Nevada as he continues to try and disrupt the Democrats. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
This week, local teens want to get you ready for the election. We the Teens is going to be hosting an educational video premiere to combat voter apathy among young people. The video highlights the history of voting, touching on why voting is important, and tells you how to register to vote. This event is going to include a presentation highlighting their voter registration drives that they've held in the recent past and how they encouraged and registered youth on high school campuses as well as students at CSUB. It's happening at the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery on I Street tomorrow at 6 p.m.
President Trump is set to visit Bakersfield this week, according to the White House. The president will join House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy in Bakersfield on Wednesday to speak with the farmers in the Central Valley about efforts to improve the supply and delivery of water in California and other western states. The last time a president paid a visit to Bakersfield was back in 2012, when former President Barack Obama passed through Keene to dedicate a monument to Cesar Chavez.
And the Daytona 500 race is scheduled to restart this afternoon after rain postponed the Great American Race. The green flag set to drop today at 1 o'clock our time. The first delay Sunday came moments after the presidential motorcade right here cruised down the racetrack. 50 minutes later, rain again stopped a second attempt to restart. There's only a 10% chance for rain today. Back here at home, a busy week ahead for Governor Gavin Newsom as he prepares his State of the State address on Wednesday. The governor will stand before a joint convention of the California legislature at the state capitol. No word yet on what topics will be covered, but in recent months, the governor has made an effort to take on the homeless crisis here in California. The address will be live streamed Wednesday morning at 10:30. You can see it all on social media outlets, our social media outlets, and our website, turnto23.com.
This morning, there are growing concerns that the White House's budget plan for 2021 fiscal year could lead to major cuts in funding for homeless programs. According to the Sacramento Bee, the proposed budget for homeless assistance grants next year would be about $2.7 billion, which is less than the current year. According to the Bee, the Trump administration's proposed budget would cut affordable housing programs and would see the Housing and Urban Development's budget cut by 15%. Steve Berg, Vice President for Programs and Policy at the National Alliance to End Homelessness, said, quote, "This budget is not really looking for solutions to the homeless problem," end quote. The new budget plan is set to go into effect October 1st. The city of McFarland is preparing for another planning commission meeting regarding a possible expansion of the GEO Group's detention center. Tomorrow, the McFarland Planning Commission will meet. One of the topics on the agenda, a second public hearing to approve a permit to expand the Golden State Modified Community Correction Facility on Frontage Road in McFarland. If approved, it would add another 1,400 beds for ICE detainees in Kern County. The last meeting brought out hundreds of community members and forced McFarland police to add extra officers for security. The meeting is set for tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the McFarland Veterans Community Center on West Sherwood Avenue.
The Harlem Globetrotters are getting ready to stop in Bakersfield as part of their latest tour. It's today. They're bringing their all-new Pushing the Limits World Tour to Mechanics Bank Arena. Tip-off this afternoon at 2. This year, the show is upping the ante, creating brand new experiences, even bigger memories for Trotter fans. Tickets are now available. They start at $18. Children ages 2 or younger get in for free.
Also happening today, if you have some spare time, take a trip to the Old Wild West. The annual Whiskey Flat Days has kicked off in the Kern River Valley, and it's wrapping up today. Organizers say you can take a trip back in time when the area was settled by gold miners and cattle ranchers. Today's the last day of the 4-day festival. There's a parade, the Wild West Days Rodeo, Wild West Encampment, the Mare Contest, and much more.
Oh, there's so many people. A good turnout. I'm into history. All kinds of things history. Museums have a lot to offer, and there's a good one here in Kernville.
This event is, of course, a family-friendly event, and it continues through today at 6 p.m. You can find a full schedule of events on our website, turnto23.com.
The city of Shafter will be bringing back the Shafter Colors Art Festival this week. Colors is a celebration of the arts held each February in Shafter. It's a multi-day event featuring, quote, transformed art in various forms, from canvas to sculpture, film and stage to wine, food, and music and more. Festivities kick off Thursday at 4 p.m. with dinner and a silent movie. Organizers say 50% of the event's proceeds will go to scholarships and grants. For more information, go to shaftercolors.org.